video. This is my 2015 Nissan 370Z Nismo Tech. And if you've seen me before, you probably might recognize me from a video you've seen by my boy Max, my Mayberry Media. First, we had two vacuum hoses. We had this. The grand reveal of the new car that I was talking about that I've been working extremely hard to get. I got it a few weeks ago. I'm extremely excited. This is just the start of a very, very, very long journey. And I guarantee you, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to take you guys along with the adventure. I finally started my YouTube channel like they said I should have. I think my personality is honestly gonna fit it pretty well. I got my boys behind the camera right there, but y'all can't see them. They're over there. They're beautiful ass people. Hold on, let me turn this thing around real quick. There's the man right there behind work. Oh, you probably can't see him, but he over there. But either way, here she is in the full. I have been waiting so long to get this car, and it's been a long wait. If you know me or know anyone who knows of me, they'll tell you like I have talked about getting a Nismo. I've wanted one for so long. Well, actually, before that, I wanted a Nismo 350, and then I just decided one day, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a Nismo 370 just because, you know, overall power, you know, future goals for this car, things of that nature. But I'm gonna go and get a few beauty shots of this car so y'all can see it. Alright, so now I'm just chilling in the car. Basically, I'm going to give an overrun of everything that's been done to the car, what I know about it so far, you know, and then just the things that I have planned for it. So to start off, the car was purchased down in Florida. Me and my boy Kevin, we probably saw in the last video if you've watched it. If not, I highly suggest that you go check it out. I'll link it in the description below. If not, I'll throw some clips in there, here and there, of the edit itself. It's a track car. Right here, aka my cousin right there. I say that. Cousins? Yeah. Oh no, you playing But my boy Kevin, he's back down. He moved back down to Florida, and it just so kind of happened to work out that I had found this one down in Orlando because I had been searching for almost 2 weeks. Actually, a lot longer than that. But like for me actually really wanting to go purchase a Nismo, I had been looking for weeks. And there's a dealership out in Illinois and in Virginia that I wanted to go travel to, but they're on some like kind of shady stuff, and like they're supposed to like, you know, discuss certain details with me, and they just kept hiding things next to the car is sold, obviously. So I don't think they took me seriously when I said like I lived out of state and I was serious about coming up there and I was gonna come at this timeline. I just don't think they took me seriously, but you know, it is what it is. Time moves on. So I was leaving work one day and I was like, you know what, I really only wanted a 2014 V1. So if you know anything about the 370s, the first couple of years were plagued with oil gasket issues. 2014 is when Nissan revised that issue and kind of fixed it. So me and John, who works at Z1, who tuned my car last time, we were discussing if I wanted the V1 Nismo, only get 2014. And so that's all I really wanted. I wanted the V1 just simply because of the wing and like small things here and there. And like, don't get me wrong, I liked the V2, but at the time I only liked the V1. I don't know why, but I just did. So I kind of started thinking about it more. I started like really looking into the V2s. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a V2. So I literally told Kevin, I was like, hey look, you know what, we're gonna do V2s, that's fine with me, whatever. Literally less than 5 minutes, he sends me a link to one. And it just so happened to work out that we have friends who Kevin lives with now. They were back down in Florida and back in Orlando. So we had them that day go check out the car. It kind of seemed to check out. And so I was like, you know what, this Thursday, Kevin's moving back down to Florida. I'm off this Thursday. So we took a trip down to Florida, kind of discussed some things, and I purchased the car there. So I drove the 6 hours back up, whatever. I was super happy. I couldn't get over. I couldn't believe that this was finally my car. I was excited. This was my first big boy purchase. You know, I've purchased big things here and there, but like, this is the first thing where I was like, this is something I've been working so hard and so many years towards, and I finally have it. And I'll go into backstory about like my last car and who now owns it, and we'll kind of get to that later on. But to get to the main part is, I was like, this is the start of a big journey. This is the start of something huge that's going to carry on over. So, and obviously this didn't come without any hiccups. There are still some small underlying issues, like the tires were crap. So I actually had a tire blowout, so I'll insert a picture now. I had a tire blowout, and if you lived in Georgia, you understand we had a gas shortage. And so the only reason why I left my house was so I can go look for gas for my mom. Only reason why I left the house. But I'm kind of glad it happened that day versus me going out to work, because I work almost an hour away, and I can only imagine if that would happen on my ride to work. I would have been screwed. So that happened, that delayed me, and that really sank some money into the hole, because the wheels and tires that I have on it, I haven't even mentioned what's even done to the car beforehand, but we'll get to that. But either way, I have some wide tires on the car, and so that really put me in the hole with money, because I was not ready at the time. I hadn't gotten paid yet. I didn't get paid till the following Friday, and I was like, look, I just purchased a car. I was like, no, I'm trying to be smart with my funds right now. I already have all my other bills coming up too, so I had to sucker it up. And the thing is, I already had the tires ordered for my front. My rear tires blew, my right left blew out, and I was like, I don't have time for these tires yet. Like, I'm replacing my fronts, because honestly those were worse. I wasn't expecting the rears to go out. The rears still had some life on them, but so it is what it is. I ended up having a buddy, you know, come let me borrow his wheels. He has G37S wheels laying around, so I borrowed those. And then we had another hiccup. I literally made it 5 feet, and I know it's gonna sound stupid, I know it's gonna be embarrassing, but honestly I don't care, and I'm not afraid to admit it. It is what it is. So I made it 5 feet before the wheel said it no longer wanted to be a part of the car, and it popped off, and then the car, you know, like kind of rested on the wheel and whatnot. Come to find out, it was just simply because I should have just put the stock lug nuts on it. I have some aftermarket lug nuts, some locking ones, so the way it is, it didn't, you know, it just kind of didn't sit like that well on where the face of the wheel is, and so it kind of just sheared its way through. Did it damage the wheel? No. Did it damage anything else like my studs? No. But the lug nuts fine? Yes. I think it just literally slipped past it. So be it. I lived, I learned. Thankfully I had some spare lug nuts laying around. My buddy Johnny had some of his spare lugs laying around, so I threw those on, and I rocked some G37S wheels until my package arrived from Amazon to get my tires. And so I got the tires mounted, boom, squared away. Next, I had a feeling, just by the way the car kind of sounds, and I kind of started up, sounded almost like it just wasn't like too happy, like revving. And so I was like, okay, and then, you know, I kind of read up a few things. I was kind of looking at the coil packs. I was like, you know, they kind of look old. And so I'll insert a picture here. I was just kind of you know, toying around my garage. I was like, let me just take a look. So I don't know if it's cylinder 1, cylinder 2, whatever it is. It's on the driver's side, very front cylinder. That's coil pack was like really hard to get out, and I could feel it like it was almost separated. Like you could tell it was different. But then you go to the ones behind it, you literally just barely pull it up and it pops right out. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's how it's supposed to come out. It's not supposed to be super hard to get out. And so I realized, I was like, okay, well, I have a damaged coil pack. You know, that might be my issue right there. Obviously, I had no codes for all of this stuff, so the car was still running and driving. So thankfully, Z1 had just released, or a couple days ago had just released their high energy ignition coils. Ordered those, new plugs, everything. Car already was driving a lot better as soon as I threw them in. I'll throw some pictures in there, maybe like a video or two of it. But honestly, the car was driving great. Super quick install. Took me about 45 minutes because I was rushing to get to work because I work in a few hours. So I got that knocked out. Car's been driving perfectly fine. No codes, no nothing like that. So there's still just like one small thing. I just need to get squared away, and then the car will be 100%. And if you know anything about 370s, you know about their concentric slave cylinders, and it's always just a ticking time bomb of when will it start showing signs of it going out. And right now I'm going through the phase where it's showing its signs of going out, but I'm getting ready to order a Z-Speed C-Mac kit, the V3 one, so it deletes the concentric slave cylinder, turns into like a normal clutch fork. and a clutch and a slave. So we're going to get that situated, then I'll discuss the clutch itself, and then I'll show you the plans of the car and what we are prepping this car for. Obviously, before I get to any of that, I have to explain what is already done to the car. So small things, one small thing was you obviously got the Mishimoto shift knob, but that's, you know, that's irrelevant. You know, no one really cares about a shift knob. Now we are on, I believe they're pronounced Odhan DSO2s. You know, don't kill me in the comments. I've never had them before. These are actually my first aftermarket wheels. No, yes, I know they're not in the best of shape. That's fine. I'm okay with that. These are just gonna be some good daily wheels. I'm just happy to have some giant pistons on them. Sorry, not giant pistons, giant brakes on them. You know, I just love the look of these are so beautiful. But either way, these are 19 by 9.5. I don't know the offset specs on them, but they're 19 by 9.5 front and then 19 by 10.5 rear. So I'm on a 265 Nitto NT 555 G2 and then a 305 same tire NT 555 G2. And then as well with the car, it came with a Tomei. As you can see and probably tell, the car was once tuned. It is no longer tuned. It's flashed back to stock, but we still have the good old Tomei on here and the Tomei white pipe. Now, at first you're probably asking me, like, do you like Tomei? I didn't really like Tomei because I'm not a huge fan of how loud it is. But you know what? I'm gonna rock with the Tomei. I like it, and plus I didn't pay for it. But now we're going to get to the list of what it's like to modify the car and what I'm prepping the car for. It's getting prepped for Z Nationals. And if you know anything about that, that is Z1's hosted track day and show day at Road Atlanta. I took my last car, I'll insert some pictures and videos here now, of the track day. That was my first ever track day, and it was a great time. So now it's time to prep this car for a track day. And so right here we have my list, and also I'm doing a checklist because there's one good way to keep myself in check. Because I have, well, before I show this, actually, everyone probably knows. So you probably have that one list in your phone, and it has all your car parts on it that you want. God damn! So in order to not distract myself with extra shit, I made myself a list. So we have our high priority list, we have a medium, so meaning it's not necessary, but it's what I want. And then you have just extras. They're completely not necessary at all, but it's like if you have the money and whatnot, I'm doing it. So I can honestly go ahead and check away. One of those things is tires. So tires are knocked out. Next, I 110% need to knock out that Z-Speed V3 C-Mac kit. I have to. That my concentric slave cylinder is not happy. And once we can do that, we can knock out one loose end, and then I'm gonna figure out which clutch setup I want. I'm debating between an ACT or 6-puck clutch or an Action Stage 3. I had an Action Stage 3 in my last car. I liked it a lot, but I kind of just want something a little bit stiffer. So it's whatever. Oil cooler. You know VQs. You know it gets hot. It gets ridiculously hot. Just sitting in traffic, I think my oil temps will get up to like 230. That's hot. Braided brake lines, just the added plus. I already have some power stop rotors on here in the braided kit. So I'll throw their track day pads, maybe a different set of rotors just for the track day itself. And then we're gonna fully swap over to Motul RBF 660 for both the brake and the clutch system for high temp. Obviously, I live down in Georgia, so it's hot all the time during summer, track days, and just overall it's just better. Next, we'll come to the medium and low priority list. Test pipes. So I already have a Tomei Y and single exit. So only two things I need to be tuned are test pipes, an intake, and then the tune. So I'm debating on test pipes because obviously the ART test pipes are out of stock for God knows how long. So it's either going to be between some resonated test pipes or certain test pipes I just decided to go with. I'm still debating on what I want. Most likely I'll just do regular test pipes until I get some ART test pipes. Next, I'm debating between, so Z1 just released their carbon cold air intake. Honestly, it's pretty sick. Have you seen it before, Max? I gotta show you them. And then, don't give me the comments, Gonzevo Motorsports cold air intake. You may have seen it on a few of the California guys' cars. I know he makes a top mount kit for 370s. He's mainly known as an Evo guy, I'm pretty certain. Or just a fabricator in general. But like, I mean, his work is pretty dope, and I've seen it on a few like the VQ guys I follow already. And then Happy to Tune. I'm Happy to Tune by John and Z1 Motorsports. Like I said, he tuned my last car. I have a good relationship with John. And then we'll have the car tuned on EcuTech. So the two tuning softwares you can use for this car are UpRev and EcuTech. But I'm doing EcuTech so I can utilize more of the advanced timing features. There's also a flex fuel kit that'll only use EcuTech, and I eventually want to have this thing on Corn and 93. And then after that, an AM wideband. There's already a bung in the wide pipe for a wideband. It's just gonna be good for a tune. And then overall, me just seeing my AFRs. Polyurethane diff bushings, are these necessary? Absolutely not. Do I want them? Yes, I do. And then we'll come over to the extras. So we're gonna do BC Racing DS Series True coilovers. I had some BC Racing DS Series on my last car. And let me tell you, they are 125% worth all the money. So DS stands for the Digressive Series. If you want to know more information, Taylor Ray has a very informal video about what the difference between the DS Series and the BR Series are. So I'm doing that from like my spec. Next would be the SPL front upper control arms, rear camber arms, and rear toe arms. That'll really just help me dial in any of my suspension, camber, toe, everything. Just really get the most grip out of the car I can. Then we will do the Mishimoto radiator and AC condenser combo. So I'm already dropping things. So if you know anything about 370s, you know that their AC condenser and radiator are sandwiched together. You can't just simply get a radiator, you have to get a combination. So Mishimoto already sells the combo, so I'm gonna go and do that, knock it out, plus their thermostat. And then conclude with the Bell Raceworks diff brakes. Might as well just throw in there with the polyurethane bushings, because I already have a poly trans mount. Why not go and lock on the diff? And you already know that VQs have horrible wheel hop. Since I have a Nismo, there is a lot more. It's better suspension, so I'm already better off than most people are, but still, I want to go and knock out as many loose ends, and it's just more overall grip and more feel I get back in the car for my track day. Wrap it up. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy whatever is left to come to this channel. I know I'm going, look, I want to look back in several years from now. And keep this in mind, like we're gonna come back to the same spot a couple years from now. I don't care if it's 1,000 subscribers, I don't care if it's 10,000, 500,000, 1 million. We're gonna come back every major milestone, and we're gonna park the car right here, and we're gonna see the car on stages. Now I want to look back at this moment and be like, I was right. I finally put my mind to it. We did what we needed to do. And like I said, you guys are in for a great journey. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you now, I'm gonna blow up on this thing. I'm being one of the biggest Georgia car YouTubers. Homegrown. Now I moved down to Georgia, homegrown. There's a difference. But I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to what is left to come. I look forward to my growth and looking back how I'm filming now compared to later on. And I can't wait for the Nismo to go. She hasn't been named yet. A name will come soon, but the journey begins now.